Blessings. I am Reverend Douglas Taylor. I serve the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Binghamton, New York, and this is another episode of Digging Deeper with Reverend Douglas. In each episode, I respond to a question that has come to me from a member of the congregation or somebody else who watches these online. You can certainly contact me through my email address at dtaylor@uubinghamton.org. Today's question is, what is grace? How do you find it and know that it's there? What is grace? So grace is one of those wonderful terms that has that religious meaning, of course, and I'm going to talk about that, but there's also a lot of secular meaning to this word as well that actually fits really well. So grace is, of course, this unearned, unmerited love of God. That's the Christian concept that begins. You didn't do anything to earn it. God just loves you. But grace is also that prayer that you say just before a meal, a prayer of gratitude. Grace is the elegant movement, the graceful movement of a dancer, right? Grace is a gift. It's something unexpected and extra. So there's rules, there's the way things are supposed to be, the way things you can expect, but then grace is something good that's extra. It just also happens. Um, Credit cards and insurance companies provide a grace period between the day when the bill is due and the date when they charge you for being late. There's this grace period. Composers will sometimes add grace notes to their music, notes that are not essential, but add flair and dynamic to the piece. God's love for you is like that. It's not because you earned it or it's a necessary piece that has to fit. You don't deserve it. It's there. It's something extra that's flair and dynamic, a gift. The rest of the notes that are in the song are still always going to be in the song, but the grace notes make the song better. You still have to pay the bill, but you have more time than the rules technically allow. Prayer uttered before a meal doesn't change the food. It's still going to be physically nourishing to you. It changes you. It becomes spiritually nourishing because you set the meal as a sacred time, as something extra. So this was a two-part question. What is grace? The question also asked, how do you find it and know it's there? Well, I have a short story to tell you. A professor of mine, when I was in seminary, talks about when he was a young child, he and his brother were very competitive, and everything became a race for them. And one time they were at the ocean and they ran toward the water, and there was a dock out there that they were headed. They were neck and neck as they ran down the beach. But as soon as they got into the water, his brother pulled ahead of him really fast and he won. And he says he realized that what was happening is he was fighting against the water, where his brother was riding the water. There was a tide, right? There was wind blowing. This was an outdoor lake or an ocean. I think it was an ocean, right? So, I mean, there was movement in the water. And he said, that's what grace is like. You can't make it happen. You can't control it happening. But when it's happening, you can lean into it. You can accept it and flow with it like the tide, like a tide of God's love for you. That is a grace note in the song of your life. That is an unexpected gift that happens even when you're not expecting it. This has been Digging Deeper with Reverend Douglas. Blessings upon you.